What?
Very abrupt.
What was that?
Hey, it's those beds they gave us, man. They abruptly end.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, good morning. Am I on? Sweet. Good morning. Welcome in. We are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone ESPN. And somebody asked about Ron Roberts, what I was talking about. Ron Roberts is the one that worked Lane Kiffin last weekend. Ron Roberts can flat out coach, but he's very unassuming. Most people don't know who he is, and he's the defensive coordinator at Florida. They had to get a veteran in there to one, save Billy's job, which he has done, and that's a credit to Billy Napier. He had hired Austin Armstrong, who was not close to being ready to be a defensive coordinator, and Ron Roberts is an adult. He's a big boy. He's a veteran. He's been there. I mean, he went 47-16 as the head coach at Delta State. He went 42-29 as the head coach at Southeast Louisiana. Nobody wins down there. And then, he had coached at some other places. But he's just a football coach. And he put together a game plan that Dart and Kiffin and Pegues didn't like last weekend and held that. I mean, they got talent. Dart, Trey Harris, Prescorn, Jordan Watkins.
Most talented roster, right?
Most talented roster in the history of the school. Because I pushed back a little bit, continued to ask in the offseason, is it more talented than 2014 and 20? Those were the most talented teams in the history of the school until this year. Ole Miss fans, the media that we brought on, they said it's the most talented squad. Ron Roberts, DC at Florida, held that squad to 17 points. I mean, the Ole Miss offense. And 88 and 94 were nasty. And they had some dudes that covered some guys. I mean, Dart and Trey Harris had the one, which was beautiful, beautiful play. Beautiful play call by Kiffin. Beautiful throw by Dart. Beautiful, awesome catch by Trey Harris on the touchdown. What was it, 47 yards? I think it was. Awesome catch. Awesome play call. Awesome throw. Awesome catch. But Ron Roberts, he the MVP. And Billy Napier did an amazing job with the true freshman quarterback on one leg the last 2 weeks in DJ Lagway. You're going to hear more about him because Florida's Florida, and all it took was a little spark. Watch what they do the next 3 weeks as far as players.
Oh.
Other teams have to win and win and win and win.
Right.
Players just want to go to Florida. Watch what well, you've already seen, 4 or 5 of them come into the nest. I mean, they went to Texas and got DJ Lagway when they were losing. He was the number 1 dual threat quarterback in the country. That's a national brand. Florida is a national brand, top 10 academic institution, top 10 research institution, and they do what they want when they want if they are aligned. They gave Napier enough time, which they should have. We never advocated for him getting fired. Look now. They're winning. He's got a veteran on the defensive side of the football. They'll trip over defensive linemen and edge rushers and long corners.
Oh, man.
Dude.
Filthy rich.
And wide receivers will flock there to get to they already got 2 stud running backs. But as Ole Miss knows, because Montrell and Ball played good football on Saturday, and they're physical, and they got that offensive line going. They're about to turn it around. And they got a brutal schedule. I don't expect them, again, the league did an absolute disservice, to the whole thing. But, they're going to, with DJ, they're going to win some games next year. Like, Texas has to go to Gainesville. Better buckle up. Better buckle up next year because you embarrassed them. They were down to the Yale walk-on the week before the LSU game, so they had to play whatever his name is, Jack White, and I know he's a guitarist. But, he looks like the dude that you just see at the Pike House. Yeah. And that doesn't work. So Texas embarrassed them. Now Sark gets to go down to Florida next year. Put that one on the mark that one on the calendar.
You know how this all happened, right? Or the one thing that Sunbelt Billy did to make sure this happened.
Sunbelt Billy.
He didn't lose the locker room. Just point blank.
Like Brian Kelly?
Yeah, That dude, he's got to go get Quinn Ewers or he's toast.
All right, so Jackson's got Quinn Ewers. He is throwing everything at the wall today this week, which we love. He's got Quinn Ewers transferring from Texas to LSU.
He's out.
Okay.
What's Nussmeier going to do? He's definitely transferring. LSU may not get him, but they he'll be on their list because Brian Kelly needs to make a splash. Needs to make a splash in the portal.
He doesn't need to lose to Oklahoma this week.
No.
I can tell you that. He does not need Brian Kelly
way.
does not. He's not going to get fired, but he does not need to lose to LSU this week. I mean, to Oklahoma. Sorry, that game's in Baton Rouge. You looked at the away games for LSU next year, dude. You got to go to Bama.
Ouch.
To Ole Miss. To Oklahoma. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's getting bounced then.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, he's bounced.
But
he's lost the faith of the administration isn't there anymore. It's over with.
All right. I want to hear from y'all on this North Carolina Dan Mullen stuff. Okay. So the Mac Hike Auto Group text line is 601-885-3776. Hit us up. Tell us hello. We want to know, where you're listening from and how you're listening. What was the question that we asked? Oh, what you're thankful for.
Yeah.
That's how you enter, and you could win a winner out of bounds Tito's gift. What you got?
Where did you pull those three names from that were like the possible candidates at UNC? Those are the names we've been talking about for a long time.
I've been talking about Dan Mullen at UNC forever.
Mullen?
All right, so Mullen, Barry Odom's going to finish. If Barry Odom wins this weekend, he finishes 10-2 at UNLV. So his budget is a Whataburger wrapper,
yeah,
and a Crystal Burger. Wow! All right, Manny Diaz is right down the road. They'd love to do that to Duke,
no doubt,
because Duke will never be North Carolina. Hold on, in football,
right?
Okay, although Manny's doing a wonderful job. Yeah. That would be former Hail State defensive coordinator Manny Diaz. Right. Jamie Chadwell, he's up the road at Liberty. Man. Okay, so he took Hugh Freeze's place when Freezes went to Auburn. And then John Summerall, who's at Tulane and winning. Now, if you're Ole Miss, you got to be careful as to what could happen. Like if it's John Summerall, I don't think they'll get to John Summerall because you're North Carolina, and it's a great job. I mean, they don't care. You can win 7 games a year, get rich. It's like being the head coach at Kentucky. It's like being the head coach at UCLA if you can win 7 games a year. You can and like every now and then, if you pop 8 or 9, they'll sign you for a full load. I mean, look at Mark Stoops. They don't even believe in scoring touchdowns. He's got $50 million on his contract. It's amazing. But I don't think they'll get to John Summerall. But that would be a Pete Golding type deal. That Pete would look at that job. So Ole Miss wants to keep him because he has been unbelievable for the Ole Miss Rebels.
They're going to screw it up.
Or Liberty. If Chadwell leaves Liberty, Golding could be in the hunt for a job like that. Yeah. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Happy Thanksgiving. We love you. man. It truly is amazing that North Carolina is a top 20 recruiter in football. Because they don't win. But they can get players. It's a beautiful area. Maybe they recruit to their basketball. Maybe they just say, hey, do you want to come watch awesome hoops? They finally hired Roy Williams. He won 4 championships. Hubert Davis, I think, is going to do well. I mean, he went to the national championship game in his first year. I was down at the Final Four in New Orleans a couple of years ago when he beat Mike Krzyzewski in Krzyzewski's last game in the semifinals of the Final Four, and then he lost to Kansas and Bill Self. But, North Carolina is a dream job football-wise. Y'all know that. They care about basketball. They live it, eat, sleep, breathe, all that. And Bubba Cunningham is their athletic director. I fully expect him to screw this up because he's been a disaster. But they got Roy. Again, all he had to do, I've talked about this, all he had to do is make sure Roy Williams was good. Right. Make sure the Danishes, the cinnamon rolls, and the coffee, and there was new paint, new chairs in the UNC basketball offices, and everything else was good. He's tripped over himself 47 times, not that many times, but in 22 years in football, and they don't care. But they sign good players. They're huge. They have a ton of money. They're in a beautiful area. Y'all all know this. They check all the boxes. They don't care about football. If you hire Dan Mullen, Jackson mentioned Arthur Smith. He's the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. He was the head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. He spent a year at Ole Miss. I did not realize that. He was on, he got out of there fast. It was when Houston Dale Nutt was spiraling, down. Houston Dale, man, those first 2 years out of the gate was on a roll. And then Dan Mullen beat him in year 2 at the last game of the year. And he never got his mojo back. Back to Bubba Cunningham, athletic director at North Carolina. It's a great job. You just win a few ball games, and you make sure that you give your parking spot to Hubert Davis, the head basketball coach, and whatever he needs, you give him, and you can stay and make a ton of money. They kept Larry Fedora for years, and he was slap underachieving, and they didn't care because during that time, Roy was winning. Yeah, buddy. Roy was winning. He had what was their name? The Hansborough?
Oh, man, Tyler. Hansborough.
Yeah, Hansborough. Because Ben went to Mississippi State before transferring to Notre Dame. But he had a bunch of players. Oh, yeah. Roy did. Give Roy credit. He spent 15 years at Kansas, couldn't win it. It's hard to win. He couldn't win it at Kansas as the head. He left Dean Smith's nest. And he was Dean Smith's right hand. He was the lead recruiter on Michael Jordan. He goes to Kansas, and they won a ton. Went to Sweet 16s, Elite Eights, Final Fours. Couldn't win it. Gets hired. Who did they hire? Guthridge, I know, because Dean Smith did that on purpose. He stepped down 3 weeks before the season so that they had to hire his friend and top assistant Guthridge. That didn't work. Didn't they? Then I think they hired Buzz Peterson. That's funny. Is that right? Michael Jordan's roommate or something? And that didn't work. And then they finally, somebody, it takes an alum because administrators will trip over their you-know-what forever, a la Bubba Cunningham. But somebody walked in and said, guys, we're not doing this anymore. It's over. And this is what we're going to do. And it's probably going to take that at Mississippi State. But what happened at Alabama? That I can't remember his name from Birmingham. He's a very low-key guy. He's not one that wants you to know that he's a top 5 donor. But he finally, he sat down Mal Moore one day and he said, look, you're running this like romper room. Okay? This is like a K4 birthday party where the cupcakes are all over the wall. Y'all have tripped over yourselves for the last 4 hires. We're Alabama football. Get back on the plane, fly down there, and go tell Nick Saban he is going to be the coach. Terry Saban doesn't want to be down there in South Beach. Yes, sir. He went on a plane. He went down. He got it. Somebody at North Carolina finally grabbed somebody else and said, you're going to sit down. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to fly to Lawrence, Kansas, and you're going to hire Roy Williams. And that's it. And if you don't come back on the private plane with Roy, then you can just stay in Lawrence and see if you like it. Maybe there's a lake over there that you can live on. That's the deal. You have to decide if you want to win. Because for the most part, athletic administrators are going to make poor hires. The overwhelming majority of them could not make it in the private sector. Good morning. Welcome in. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. And y'all heard me talking about ribs yesterday. I need to tell you about some of the most underrated ribs in the state of Mississippi. They're at Burgers Blues Barbecue, Dogwood Flowwood, Burgers Blues Barbecue. Their ribs are amazing. Also in Madison and Brandon. Okay, now, they smoke everything on site. So when you get that brisket, like Jackson went nuts when we got that brisket with scrambled eggs that morning. He couldn't believe it. Changed his life.
I mean.
Okay? Their pulled pork nachos are sinful in a good way. So Burgers Blues Barbecue, their ribs are amazing. So if you don't just want turkey and ham for like 3 days, go ahead and get you a slab or two of ribs from Burgers Blues Barbecue, Dogwood Flowwood. They're on the south side of Lakeland /25. Now, look, they've got amazing onion rings and fried pickles and pulled pork nachos. They'll have a blue plate today, and they've got a burger of the month, and all that's amazing, too. In Dogwood Flowwood, they got a full bar and an outside area that he can keep it pretty temperature controlled because it's covered and everything. So it's sweet. Burgers Blues Barbecue, Dogwood Flowwood. Open for breakfast, too. Honey butter chicken biscuit, brisket and scrambled eggs, chicken and waffles. Anybody hungry? I am. That's what I'm thinking with North Carolina, Jackson. I got Dan Mullen. You mentioned Arthur Smith, North Carolina grad. I don't know if he's the best fit, but, I mean, his resume's good.
Sure.
You know,
I'm just assuming Dan turns it down.
No, I don't think Dan will turn this one down.
No.
I actually believe that Dan, if offered, will take this job.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's his deal. I mean, that's his fit.
I think Dan knows this job is so plush and so good, and North Carolina recruits itself in football. They're a top 20 recruiter in football.
That's absurd. Like,
they shouldn't out-recruit. They recruit right around where Ole Miss is, a little bit better, which is insane.
What?
But Ole Miss has been on number 20 for years, and that's a good spot. Yeah. I mean, they may move into the teens. We'll see. They've threatened at times with Breeze, and they may do it with Lane. They should not out-recruit Mississippi State or Arkansas. Those are two schools that, well, I say this, for the most part, want to win more than North Carolina. Obviously, MSU has lost their mind post-Mullen, and somebody needs to find it and get it right. Of course, their fan base also has to decide, as I've said, if they want to win. They like the idea of winning. If you want to win, then, you're going to have to give to, you sent Charlie Winfield into a nuclear war with a butter knife, and that just doesn't work.
Nah.
It doesn't. It's like telling me that Ukraine is going to beat Russia. They're not. That's dumb. There is no war. It's just a money grab. So the point is that you got to decide if you want to win. And you need to run your football program like you run your basketball program. You need to be ruthless and relentless. Instead, you run around worrying about getting in trouble. Well, there are no rules anymore.
Trouble.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Throw the gloves off and go make it happen. It's a street fight. You're in the SEC. If not, you're going to be in the Sun Belt. You got to decide if you want to win and commit to winning on campus and the alumni base. And again, you pearl clutched over NIL, and I don't like it. Well, how do you like it now? Right. You're 2-10. You know, your rival's rolling. Bama's never going anywhere. LSU's not going anywhere. Georgia's not, is a power. Tennessee got their mojo back. A&M's got an adult. Elko's a dude. Auburn, I know people have enjoyed it, especially Ole Miss fans. Hugh Freeze misery this year. Yeah. I can promise you that guy can coach. They're gonna go pay $2 million for a quarterback, and they're gonna beat you next year. Whoever you is on their schedule, they're gonna win because they've been awesome on defense, and they may beat Bama this weekend. And Ole Miss is hoping that they do.
Right.
Ole Miss is hoping that, Ole Miss is rooting for Auburn and the Fighting Hugh Freezes. Freezes. He does things the right way.
Oh, my gosh.
I was told that at bars, grills, games, and everywhere else. Freeze does it the right way.
Still the sentiment, baby.
Mm-hmm. So, anyway,
man, what if he does drop him a Thanksgiving gift? Give him a statue.
Oh, look, man, if Hugh Freeze beats Bama,
man,
then Ole Miss is going to have to give him a statue in front of Funkies.
Absolutely.
They have to.
Yeah.
Let me go over this again. I don't know why I haven't written it down. You ready?
Hit me.
Ole Miss needs Miami to beat SMU, South Carolina to beat Clemson, and Bama to lose to Auburn. Miami to beat SMU, South Carolina to beat Clemson, and Auburn to win, or Bama to lose. So that's what you got to have, Rebs, to get on. And look, you've done a hell of a job. Bar2 talked about it. You've done an amazing job. Lane pushed you, and you took it. Like, he pushed you to get the deal going and get the collective going. And then you had an alum who is super wealthy and has wanted to win for 50 years. And you've won some, but he rallied the troops. And if you get in, you should name the law school after him. Yeah. And he has a development down 463, and it's really, really nice and a tremendous asset to the state of Mississippi. And we talk about coconuts. So now we're going to find out if Mississippi State wants to win. Now, I want to switch gears real quick. Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary game tomorrow, Jackson. We've got Bears at the Lions.
Right.
Bears at the Lions. The Lions always play on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
When I was growing up, they did. Then they got Barry Sanders. I loved Barry Sanders. They never were any good, but he was. Okay?
Same with me and Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson and Matthew Stafford, two really good players. Isn't it amazing Matthew Stafford became a really good player once he got out of there?
Yeah.
A dysfunctional franchise like other quarterbacks have right now that are good. And he got out to the L.A. Rams with Sean McVay, and they put some defensive pieces around him. And, yeah, he won a Super Bowl. It's amazing. And they have a full-time GM. So the Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary game tomorrow is Bears at Lions. You get to see Dan Campbell. We get the Fighting Kneecap Biters drop for me. I want that. Giants at Cowboys. These are two bad football teams. But America will watch.
Oh, yeah.
The ratings will be insane. Cowboys are only 3.5-point favorite. Giants at the Cowboys. I'm wondering what the crowd's going to be like tomorrow. Even though they did beat Washington, do they come back that much? I think it'll be 30% empty. We'll see what Jerry's World looks like. Maybe not. A lot of people travel in.
Still the Giants.
And that's kind of their holiday thing. They have family in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. and maybe that's their game of the year, or maybe the outsiders, the people on the outside, bought tickets the last few weeks as ticket prices went down as the Cowboys didn't win. And then tomorrow night you got Dolphins at the Packers. Ooh. So you got a triple header. I don't know if Blake Scott's going to be okay because he says he has to get 3 servings of Thanksgiving food, and he doesn't want anybody to mess with him. He would get real grouchy when the Egg Bowl was on Thanksgiving. He didn't like it, and he let everybody know. So that's the triple header. Bears at Lions, Giants at Cowboys, talking about a quarterback battle, and Dolphins at Packers. Dolphins may be in for some weather. You know, they're used to South Florida and South Beach, and they got to go up to Green Bay. It's 27 degrees right now at Lambeau.
What?
I mean, the frozen tundra.
That is freezing cold.
Yeah, that wouldn't go well for you. You're not a big cold weather guy.
No. Especially not if I'm going to be outside. There are very few things I like to do in the cold.
Yeah.
And none of them don't include a White Russian. So, yeah, I'm out.
A White Russian. It is White Russian time of year. Big Tito's time. White Russian.
Big time.
Sounds good. You know what? I may have one tonight. We're not doing the show tomorrow. Or Friday, I can get a little crazy. And
just a little.
Just a little. And make me a White Russian, and I'll have a Rocky Patel ALR, which will be delicious. Spring Street Cigars is coming to Jackson.
Yeah, when's that one open?
May 1.
Oh, great. I'll be able to walk to it.
You will. You live right there.
Right there. I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be in the Rogue building, or the Rogue clothing store.
Yeah, they don't let me in those kind of places, but maybe they'll let me in the bar.
Luke will let you in. But no, they're going to have a bar. It's going to be cool. John's going to tell us more about it, but Spring Street, Starkville, Oxford, those are beautiful cigar lounges. Hattiesburg's amazing. Meridian's, Kosciuszko, Tupelo, among others. But, they're going to have, it's going to be really, really nice. And something that the metro area has needed. That's for sure. All right. Do people want me to get back into this coaching search?
Well, that, and I don't know if you want to give it to me now or later, but I need the Bounds family Thanksgiving, plans. Like, what's happening?
Well, so
are the kids coming?
Wilkes,
they'll be here.
Is here.
Ah, nice.
He got here yesterday.
Are they all
late in the afternoon?
Are they off the week? Is this fall?
No, they had classes this week.
Okay.
But a lot of them got canceled.
Sure.
At MSU. Wilkes did have a class yesterday because he came in afterwards.
Oh, he didn't opt out.
No, he went. I don't know. Look, his mom makes sure that, that happens. So Wilkes came home and I cooked steaks and fries in the oven.
Nice.
Wendy had bought a pumpkin pie. He ate 2 huge pieces of pumpkin pie.
Worse.
I don't even know if he weighs $150, and he's way taller than me. 6 feet tall. Ella Hall will be here tomorrow.
Okay.
She's working. She's babysitting for a family up there.
Yeah.
So she's coming home tomorrow morning. And then we'll have Thanksgiving lunch.
So the crew will be in.
Yeah, they'll be there. Right. Yeah, our house, we get used to this thing from, they left like August 1st.
Right.
Well, Ella Hall was gone all summer on her internship, right? So she hadn't been here since June 1, except a couple of weekends. But we got used to, neither one of them being there August, September, October, November. And now the tidal wave's coming.
Right.
Yeah. And then they go back for I think 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. Because I think they're out, but we're going to the Saints game on December 15th.
That's right.
And I'm really looking forward to going to New Orleans over the holidays and seeing all the lights on St. Charles and in the Roosevelt.
Oh yeah,
we're going to eat some great food, and it's going to be. And I don't care who wins the game. I mean, Saints, Commanders. I'm just happy to be there.
It's my birthday. They got to win it.
Is that your birthday?
The day before, or they're on the 15th. They play on the 15th.
I think it's December 15th.
I'm 16, so there's always a game right around there.
Okay,
it's usually my birthday game, and they usually win.
Okay. Do they really?
They usually do.
Well, for years they won. Period, because it was Breeze and Peyton.
Sure,
they won 10+ games all the time. Sometimes 12, 13.
It's usually an in-division opponent around this time. So they usually catch.
You usually would beat the Falcons or the Buccaneers or the yeah. I get it. Derek Carr and Jaden Daniels. So I get to watch that.
Man, and
friend of ours gave us great seats.
That's gonna be awesome though. Jaden welcoming back.
There's going to be a lot of Jaden Daniels jerseys.
There are, rightfully so.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I know.
Because he's cool.
He is cool.
He's a cool cat.
He's a hell of a player.
That he is.
So, speaking of, our Thanksgiving beer is Golden Road Mango Cart Wheat Ale. It's fabulous. And it's become Jackson's favorite beer, and I don't blame him. And then I kind of didn't understand how good it was. And now I realize it's delicious. So, they made me have one at Martin's yesterday. Martin's in Livingston has Mango Cart on tap. It's fabulous. And it's really, really good beer. They also, the Southern Bev crew told me that if you do a half Mango Cart and a half Kona Big Wave, which I love. If you've listened to the show, I love Kona Big Wave. Okay. They say if you do half Mango Cart and half Kona Big Wave, that it's a beach bum. And it's an excellent beer. So I've received some feedback on why I said Mississippi State football needs to have the same approach as basketball. What's called taking the gloves off and going and get players. And being in a relentless and ruthless pursuit of players and W's. It's a free. You just got to go get players. And for whatever reason, it's been a pearl clutching program for two. Now Dan was able to overcome it because he's just a freak. And Cheryl was able to overcome it, but other than that, in your 100-year history, no one else has. So, I mean, you got to decide if you want to win and go get some dudes. There's athletes all over the place in this 4-state area. We are the Out of Bounds Show. We're brought to you by the amazing Gyros at Aplos in the Renaissance and Aplos in Highland Village.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
This is Al Warner.
Live in the studio.
It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone.
Ooh. I've got Zach Arnett on my text line. Dan Mullen thoughts. Lane Kiffin not playing Ulysses Bentley. I can't believe Lane did it either. I mean, as much as he has done well, as unbelievable a run he's had at Ole Miss, did he jeopardize his college football playoff by at least not giving Bentley the ball against Kentucky and Florida? I don't know. I don't know. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I would have at least given it a run for the money. You know, everything you asked for, pretty much, give the alums credit. You know, he demanded, and basically they spent money, and this is smart. They spent money and didn't have it, and then went and raised it. And I mean, that's fine. I mean, Lane would be like, I want that player. I'm getting him. Okay, we just did the deal. He wants $350K. I want that player. He wants $400. I want that player. He wants $600. I want that player. He wants $160. I want that player. He wants $210. I want that player. Obviously, Walter Nolan went for, God knows. There's all kinds of, $700, $800, $900, whatever.
Been worth it.
Oh, he's a good. He's good. Number two. He's a good football player. He's a game wrecker. What did Billy Napier say when Florida went down in the red zone and they interviewed Napier during a commercial? I guess that was it. At the game side, he said, "Well, number two is a problem," or something like. It was funny, and it wrecked both of our first and second downs. I think that was when they did throw the touchdown on the third down, but he was funny. He was like, "Are you watching the game? Number two just took our offensive lineman and just." Bulldozed through and wrecked what we wanted to do.
Like that.
We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Yes, I would hire Dan Mullen or Barry Odom at North Carolina. I think Bubba Cunningham, the athletic director at UNC, will screw it up. He's been there for 22 years, still hasn't hit on a head coach in football. But again, Roy Williams was winning national championships, and y'all know the drill. I mean, if Calipari's winning, everything else at Kentucky's fine. If Roy Williams is winning, bringing him back, from Kansas, long-time North Carolina assistant coach under Dean Smith, he ripped off 4 national titles, gave Krzyzewski a scare, right? Because Mike went on a hell of a drought. He was like, what? Roy's going to come in on a much shorter period of time and trump me. If Bill Self's winning in Kansas, they don't even know they're playing football. Yeah, it's just what I'm trying to think of who else. Those are the 4. Duke, obviously, North Carolina, Kentucky, Kansas. I mean, you could throw Syracuse in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to where I was going. I think Bubba Cunningham, athletic director at North Carolina, will screw it up. He's been there 22 years. Hadn't really thought much about football. He's going, oh, that's our football building. And then he drives by it. Dan Mullen would be awesome. I mean, Mullen would be awesome. I think he would take the job. He didn't tell me that, but I spent an hour and a half with him at the Texas A&M game in one of my friend's boxes. And I actually asked him pointed questions, and I'm maybe totally wrong, but reading his body language and so on, I believe that he would take the North Carolina job. Barry Odom would be excellent. If Barry wins this weekend, he'll be 10-2 at UNLV. Wow. He's a phenomenal coach. He's going to get a job. Okay, it's on. He went out to UNLV, and again, they have a Whataburger burger wrapper for a budget, and he won. And you know what he knows how to do? Staff. Look who he hired. Keep your eyes out. There's 2 assistant coaches on his staff that are excellent. Manny Diaz is at Duke. I don't know what his contract is, but that'd be funny as hell. Because Duke's never going to be North Carolina in football. No. Even though Cut won some, Elko won. I mean, they've kind of figured it out. Again, those 2 places don't really care, but you can win at Duke and North Carolina. 1, the league, but 2, money, population boom. Mid-Atlantic region is rolling. And if you've ever been up in that, many of you have, I mean, it's beautiful. There's wealth. There's been parents that have been training their kids since they were 5 and 6 years old in that 4-state area. It's why they're so good in baseball. There's so much travel ball. I mean, all you got to do is follow the money. Like, we've had a wealth boom, thank God, in this state. Along with it, parents have been able to afford $100, $200 lessons. Their girl or boy on travel ball teams where they spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 buying stuff, traveling $6,000, $8,000, $12,000, whatever it is. The reason why the Mid-Atlantic region started to boom in the early 80s and all that wealth is there, that's why Duke and North Carolina can win. Look at what Duke did in baseball here recently. North Carolina's been winning in baseball for 25 years. So I'd go Dan Mullen, Barry Odom, Manny Diaz, Jamie Chadwell, John Summerall is at Tulane. He's winning after winning at Troy. Yeah, I mean, these and Barry Odom and John Summerall would have taken the Mississippi State job. So would Manny Diaz. But look, you need Levy to work. You need to support him. You need to, make some moves. You can't keep going through coaches. But these guys, and Manny Diaz is sitting there going, man, I was a train wreck at Miami. And a lot of Miami was culture.
Right.
Donna Shalala, former Clinton administration, was an absolute train wreck as a president down there. They went through all their money. They were run poorly, like a lot of academic institutions. And again, Donna Shalala couldn't cash flow a Chick-fil-A in the most affluent suburb outside of Atlanta. And so they couldn't get it right for about 5 hires. Now it looks like Mario Cristobal's got it going at Miami. But Manny Diaz, who's from Miami, his dad was 2-time mayor. He was hired there, and then he got run out because he couldn't get it going. He's having some success. Watch out for Manny. He may end up being able to parlay that into an even better job, but I'm sure he's in a good spot because nobody cares at Duke. He's getting paid, and his family lives in a beautiful place. He went to rehab at Penn State as a defensive coordinator, did a great job. Kind of like Lane Train went to rehab at Alabama, worked out. He's winning at Duke. Jamie Chadwell's at Liberty. He took Freeze's spot. These would all be, and John Summerall was at Troy and won, and now he's at Tulane and won. He actually left Troy to go to Tulane. I would not have bet on that 15 to 20 years ago. Troy was a better program. In Alabama, a state that loves football. I know Louisiana does too, but public university compared to private. But evidently they had their stuff together. Tulane's got some alums that are committed. They're even more committed than Mississippi State right now, which is unbelievable. But they poached John Summerall from Troy to go to Tulane when Willie Fritz went to Houston. He did a great job, by the way. And I know Kevin Barbay just got fired as the offensive coordinator at Houston. And Kevin's a super nice guy, and I wish him the best. It wasn't a good hire by Zach Arnett, but Zach wasn't ready to be a head coach. I mean, Zach named Matt Brock the defensive coordinator when he got the head coaching job when Leach passed away. Well, I thought Zach was going to be the DC. He just had to have a DC in name. And then Zach let him call plays. It made no sense to me. That's the biggest, craziest pills thing I've watched in a long time. I think we're going to watch Bubba Cunningham, though, screw this North Carolina football job up. The Mac Hike Auto Group text line, 601-885-3776. Good morning. Welcome in. That's loud. Yeah, let's start the rumor. Joe Moorhead to North Carolina. After the big win last night over Toledo. Goodness gracious. We are the Out of Bounds Show. ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. We love you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Whether it's, we like it when you hang out with us every day, 5 days a week, but some of you catch us 2, 3, 4 times a week. And we appreciate you also going to the podcast, Apple Podcast, or Spotify, and search Out of Bounds with Bo Bounds. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone. It's driven by Mack Hike Auto Group. We welcome in our friend Justin Waite with Mack Hike Ford and Mack Hike Auto Group. What's up, buddy?
Man, doing good. Ready for tomorrow. Got a big day.
Yeah.
Been game planning all week, trying to eat light. Want to stay ready.
Hey, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Corn casserole, without a doubt. It's my aunt has always made it,
Ooh.
and then my mom made it for me a lot growing up. Now my wife makes it.
Ooh.
And that was kind of a tester early on in my wife and I's relationship. I was like, I love you,
Right.
but I need to see you make this corn casserole.
Okay.
And
It's like a quarterback in a 2-minute drill.
Mhm.
Can you lead the team down the field?
Absolutely.
And score the touchdown?
Yeah. Can you punch it in?
Okay.
That's what we need to know.
Okay. And she passed.
Absolutely.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
That's great, man. Justin Waite, Mack Hike Ford on the Out of Bounds Show. I am going to hammer some dressing and have a couple of beverages. We got NFL all day tomorrow, too.
Yeah.
So,
Another thing that I really like, I like the Christmas at Biltmore white wine.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's hard to find it, And
They don't distribute it like at a high level. Yeah, we
But-
had Biltmore on the show for a while.
Yeah.
But the problem was, the reason why it didn't work perfectly is because they don't distribute, like when you go in a store and you get La Crema, Pinot, that's everywhere.
Right.
Or whatever, Wild Turkey. That's a good point. Yeah, I remember they brought us a case, and I had some of that.
Yeah, that's my cousin
Biltmore.
texted us last week and was like, hey, I found the Christmas at Biltmore. And I was like, go ahead, get us a box.
Yeah.
Because we don't know when you're going to see it again.
No, they don't make a lot of it, and so that's why it's not allocated at a high level, I guess is what I'm saying. All right, Justin Waite, Mack Hike Ford on the Out of Bounds Show. Justin, tell everybody what you do.
I am the vehicle acquisitions manager at Mack Hike Ford Jackson, and I buy all of our used vehicles. And if you have a vehicle that you no longer need, or maybe you're thinking about trading it to get something else, man, I would love to take a look at it, and I will come to you. I'm mobile, and I'm easy to deal with. I just need your VIN, your mileage, and a couple pictures, and I can, shoot you an offer. And again, I will come to you and appraise the vehicle at your house, at your job, at your mom's house. I see that a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, mom's in a nursing home, or she's just not driving anymore. Can you come meet us here? And yes, I can. I can come meet you wherever I can, and I will look at your vehicle and drive it, and I'll make you the most fair and best offer I can, and we'll put a deal together.
Yeah, so Justin Waite will go to your home or office or wherever, home or office, and he'll give you a price on your vehicle. Justin Waite, Mack Hike Ford, Mack Hike Auto Group, Vehicle Acquisition Manager, joining us on the Out of Bounds Show. What do you think about Bama Auburn?
It's tough right now. It's been a rough weekend for the boys in Crimson, but I'm looking forward. I'm not gonna null on what's behind us.
Right.
24-hour rule. Right. So it's over. I'm excited. I'm glad we're playing them in Tuscaloosa this
Heck
year.
yeah, you
I'll
are.
say that.
So backs against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
If you win, you're in. Let me walk that back. if you win, you're in a pretty good spot to get in. Okay. You're 13th.
Right.
Ole Miss is 14th. Ole Miss is cheering again. They need you to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So Ole Miss needs Miami to beat SMU, South Carolina to beat Clemson, and Auburn to beat Bama. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think you're going to win the game because Bama was embarrassed last week against Oklahoma. Milroe and them can't play any worse.
Yeah,
You know?
it was.
Or give Oklahoma credit.
Oh no, yeah,
They came up with a
playing
great
ball
defensive
game,
game
Yeah,
plan. And Venable said he watched the Vandy tape.
Yeah, well, he did.
Oh, man. Justin Waite, Mac Hike Ford. He is the vehicle acquisition manager. He'll come to your home or office, wherever, and he'll give you he'll appraise your car, give you a price.
And even if you have a vehicle that you want to trade in, but you don't want something that we have, maybe you don't want a new F-150, I still want your trade. That's just because I don't have something that you want to buy doesn't mean that I don't want to buy your trade.
Right.
Because I do.
Right.
And I didn't mention this earlier, but my cell phone number is 601-896-3777. Again, that's 601-896-3777. That's my direct cell. You text me or call me, it comes literally straight to me, and we can do business.
All right, so Justin Waite, he's at the Mac Hike Ford location. If you miss any of this and you've got our text line, we'll give it to you. All right, but he'll come to your home or office and give you a price for your car, and he wants to buy it. He wants to buy your car, whether you're trading with Mac Hike or not. Justin Waite, Mac Hike Ford on the Out of Bounds show. His number is 601-896-3777. Let's go to the Mac Hike Auto Group text line, and Brad says a good corn casserole is always legit. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. It pairs well with a good glass of bourbon.
It pairs well with everything on the plate.
I know.
It's not like an outlier,
True.
that you have to make it work. Like, it just works.
What do you think about hash brown casserole?
I like it.
I do too.
I'm not saying it's something that I'm look forward to at Thanksgiving every year,
Right.
Because I'm still one of these guys. I'll go to Cracker Barrel
And hammer?
and get some hash brown casserole.
Oh, man.
Boom. Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah.
I like green bean casserole as long as it just don't have a whole bunch of mushrooms.
Exactly. See, I don't want it all this cream stock
That's
and
right.
everything.
Yeah.
Let's just do the green beans and a little bit of seasoning and maybe a little bit of marinade and wrap it with some crispy bacon and let's party.
That's it.
I don't need cream of mushroom all over this. I just
that's
don't
why
need
we
that.
like the green bean bundles. We take
Yes.
the green beans and
Love green bean bundles.
wrap it in the bacon with the butter and brown sugar.
I'm in.
That's it.
I'm in. Now, also on the hash brown casserole or the corn, I need it brown.
Yeah.
I need it just a little, and that way. And then when I get the hot sauce or the red pepper, and I pour a mango cart wheat ale, everything's perfect for sure. All right, what else do we have coming in here? Squirrel says you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. I can't believe he wished us a happy Thanksgiving. Oh, he likes us. Good. All right. Well, Squirrel likes us. My man, I hope you and your family have a wonderful.
Man, same to you. I was listening this
Thanksgiving.
morning. I heard you say your son was home and
Yeah.
daughter will be home tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, y'all
That's going to be
too.
fun. Justin Wade, Mac Hike Ford, Vehicle Acquisition Manager. He wants to buy your car, truck, or SUV or Jeep. All right? Call him right now, 601-896-3777. And some of you are busy. Some of you are cooking. He'll come to your home today while you're cooking, and he'll give you a price on your car, truck, or SUV. Justin Wade, Mac Hike Ford. He'll buy your vehicle. Hey, Justin Waite with Mac Hike Ford wants to buy your car. And, hey, he'll come to you, your home or office. Justin Waite wants to buy your car. That way you don't have to fool with it, spend time, all that. And he wants to buy your vehicle. Justin Waite, Mac Hike Ford, and his number 601-896-3777. Good morning. Welcome in to the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone ESPN. Oh, goodness gracious. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. It's been a hell of a week. I think for Ole Miss, it's just been an absolute and total roller coaster. You know, you come off the Georgia win, it's the biggest win in the history of your program. Then you take a week off so you get another week to enjoy it. And then you go to Florida and lose. And then you're on the edge of your seat on the college football playoff. You know, if you beat Florida, you host a game. You lost to Florida. Now you're just trying to get in. You'll go on the road. But you still got a team that can win. Yeah, I don't know if there's a team in the country you can't beat. Now, you have to play. I mean, you've also lost to Kentucky and Florida.
Sure.
But I'm not sure.
But you're
like
right.
Neutral fit, you know, Oregon, Ohio State, Texas. I don't know. When you're playing well, not when they're playing like they did against Kentucky. And
sure.
To a certain extent. I mean, they didn't play terrible against Florida.
They pieced it together.
Florida's, you know, Piggy's on fourth down twice.
Dumb.
Brutal. Missed field goal. And look, Dart at the end of the game got a little, I mean, I saw what Kiffin told him in the time, you know, settle down or calm down or whatever he said.
Right.
He just couldn't do it. And look, it's hard to do. It's a hard position to play.
Oh, yeah.
He's a hell of a player.
That Ole Miss team is literally a top 4 team when they're playing like they're supposed to be playing.
And you're exactly right. And you can say that about a lot of teams.
That's a good point.
Because we don't have a dominant team and we don't have an elite team. Yeah. And we don't have a dominant team in the SEC. And I don't think Ohio State, no, it's not. Ohio State and Oregon are not dominant.
Right.
So it is a good year to be good. It is a good year to make the college football playoff. It's also nothing wrong with asking Lane Kiffin why he didn't play Ulysses Bentley, the running back.
Right.
And at least see if that could have changed the outcome of one of your losses.
At this point, I don't even know if it's about the outcome. They just want to know what the heck's going on.
Yeah.
Give me a decent answer.
Well,
if it's a tiff between the two of you, fine, tell me. I won't think it's a good answer, but I'll be glad you said something.
You know, and if it's just money,
then tell me.
I don't know.
Tell me without telling me.
You got millions and millions invested, and but
in all reality,
I didn't think that they would go 9-3.
No, the floor was
and
set.
I mean, I didn't think the losses would be Kentucky at home, who's awful. I mean, I know Mississippi State's worse, but Kentucky is terrible. And at LSU, I understand. Because when they get rolling, you know.
That's okay.
You know, and then at Florida, I'm surprised, even, you know, with Lagway and kind of their mojo the last few weeks, I'm surprised. But when Florida went down and scored first, you know.
But out of those playoff teams or the potential playoff teams we saw named last night, how many of those teams are favored against Ole Miss on a neutral field?
Oregon, Ohio State,
okay,
Texas,
3. You can be hard.
Georgia,
on it, yeah, they would be. Wouldn't be much, be a hair, but they would
may be it.
I mean, but all right, so you got 4 ahead of them.
Ole Miss is not getting in the playoffs with 3 losses. That's from a unnamed texter. Well, hold on. We'll see what Miami, South Carolina, and Auburn do.
I mean, what happens if Georgia goes in and gets a 3rd loss? You going to put 2 3-loss teams in there?
if Georgia loses in the SEC championship game, I think they're going to be okay. I do.
So
with what the committee did last night, moving them up,
right?
With their big win over, was it UMass?
Yeah.
I think I said Mercer earlier. My bad. Bama had beat Mercer a couple of weeks ago.
You had UMass.
You know, they bumped Georgia 3 spots. So Georgia loses in the SEC championship game. Are they really going to bump them that many spots out?
Well, then doesn't Ole Miss look at them head to head?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, Ole Miss will have beat them head to head.
They'll have an argument.
They will. Georgia will have beat Clemson on a neutral field, won at Texas, and beat Tennessee at home.
Yeah, they're in.
I think I know what they're looking. They're looking at the fact that they didn't just beat Clemson. They smoked them in the second half.
Right.
They took it to Texas at Texas, and they beat Tennessee at home.
And the way they came back against Bama. They kept that game.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll look at that, but maybe. I don't.
If it came down to them being a 3-loss team and them and Bama, who's the nod?
Well,
who gets the nod?
Bama. If Bama beats Auburn,
right?
How many?
3-piece.
9-3. Yes, Okay, so let me go over this again. When I'm talking about SMU and Miami, I'm saying if it plays out where they play in the ACC championship game,
right?
I understand they don't play this weekend,
right?
Bo is on the, not me, but another Bo is on the text line. What hurts about Ole Miss is the team is the only one that ever had a legitimate chance to win a national championship.
False.
And won't get the chance to try at this opportunity, and this opportunity will not come back around anytime soon.
Is that true?
You don't ever know.
No. Is the first part of that statement true? Because I'm not buying that.
You know, it would be extremely difficult. They'd have to play an extra game than the 4 teams that get a bye. So you'd have to play on the road, then play in the quarterfinals, then play in the semifinals, and then play in the finals. And hope that enough of your dudes, like your dudes,
right,
like Dart, Walter Nolan,
Ritz,
Chris Paul, Trey Harris comes back. You do play, maybe Lane decides on Friday that he's going to let Ulysses Bentley run for 220 yards on Mississippi State, which I could run for 110. So maybe, and then if all the stars line up, then maybe he plays him in the postseason. I don't know.
Oh my Lord! Could you imagine if he totes it for 200 and they don't get in the playoff? He will never hear the end of it. Never, because that'll be the last thing they saw of Bentley.
Well, that's a good point.
Last time we saw him,
he'll opt out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If they don't go to the college football playoff. Nope.
Right.
They're not playing in the Gator Bowl or whatever they go to.
They may have to opt out as a whole. But the first part of that text was this is the only Ole Miss team that's ever had a true chance at winning a national championship. I don't believe that.
You think others did?
I think the team that lost to Memphis did.
Oh, 2015.
I think that there was a shot
there. They lost to Memphis and
trash loss.
Arkansas at home on the 3rd and 25.
Yeah,
fourth and and 20 or third. I don't remember.
The Alex Collins picking it up, Hunter Henry throwing it behind his head, not knowing where he's throwing it. Yeah, that one. They had that was a legitimate chance. Didn't the Arkansas loss kick him out of the playoff?
No, it kicked him out of the SEC championship game, which then could have led to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy that team was so dominant at times that year and lost. Arkansas had a nice team.
They were okay.
Physical.
Yeah.
Had some good players, but far from a top-end team.
Was that a Paxton Lynch Memphis court? That was Paxton.
I think it was.
Yeah, all 6'8" of him. That was kind of that was the beginning of the downfall, right? I mean, Kim Deitch gets knocked out
because things
just started to unravel after that game. They unraveled during the middle of it when he handed the ball to him.
No, because they beat Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl. They went to the New Year's Six bowl game and won.
That's right.
And Sugar Bowl?
Sugar.
Yeah. Sugar Bowl beat Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy, in which they were 10 times better.
Right.
And 2015, 26. Yeah, then 2016 was the year, his last year for Freezes. Now they got to cheer for Hugh Freeze in Auburn. Like, I'm talking about wearing Auburn jerseys on Saturday or wearing things that say Freeze on there.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
you got to, right? I mean, you got to get a Sharpie and write it on, like your hand, Freeze, or your boob or something.
You got to do whatever it takes to make Freeze want to win for you. He's got to find that Ole Miss in him.
You got to send him something. From the square in the Grove.
Man, my man needs something.
He needs something.
Basket.
He needs some cocktail napkins from Funky's. He needs
something.
Some leaves or a branch.
I'm with that. From the Grove.
From the Grove.
Absolutely.
Or dirt.
Anything.
Grass.
Get him something from the vault.
Bark from the tree.
Send him a dentist chair.
Yes. you got to do that.
But I mean, you think they did that? Do you think that was a thing?
What's that?
I would have done that.
What?
Sent Freeze something like that.
I would too.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I mean, because Freeze still has love for Ole Miss. They paid him a lot of money.
I don't know if he still has love for Ole Miss.
Does he have disdain?
But, well, everybody's gone that he would have disdain for.
Right. So it's just null and void.
But I mean, Freeze did it to himself. So exactly. I don't know why you would. I mean, I guess we do that as humans.
Why be mad at Ole Miss?
Right, but like if we're 30 pounds overweight, we blame our wife or our job.
Yeah.
I mean that makes no. You're 30 pounds overweight. It's like blaming Zach Arnett for Mississippi State football. It's like blaming your wife.
That's right.
For being 30 pounds overweight.
Good point.
That's how we are as humans. Unfortunately.
You think there's animosity?
I want to know if people are going to make Freeze jerseys. If all these cute women are going to be wearing them on Saturday.
Right.
When Bama and let's see, that's 2:30. Of course it is. Boom. 2:30 ABC. Auburn at Bama. Peyton Thorne against Jalen Milroe. DeBoer against Freeze. Ooh. Yeah.
If DeBoer loses that game, that man better get out of there.
Oh.
Locker room's gone.
If DeBoer loses to Freeze.
Oh, my Lord.
They'll freak out. Do you have that call from yesterday?
Yeah, legend.
That was really good. I think we need to end the week on that. Hey, we are the Out of Bounds Show. We're brought to you by Independent Roofing Systems, #1 commercial industrial roofing company in Mississippi. Done right the first time. Independent Roofing Systems. Call them today. Also, show is brought to you by Eye Care Professionals. If you need cataract surgery, you want to call Eye Care Professionals with 2 locations on Lakeland Drive. And Dr. Kirk Jeffries or any of the physicians will be happy to assist you in your cataract surgery. Brought to you by Eye Care Professionals. This unnamed texter says, send Freezes a burner phone for old time's sake. That's what Ole Miss fans that may motivate him. Right?
I don't care what it is. Show him you're thinking about him.
Yeah.
That's all he cares about. That's been his MO.
Yeah.
I just want to know you're thinking about me, guy.
Well, he said it was all about love when he was there.
Show him the love, baby.
He asked his team to play for love. So, and that's what you're hoping Auburn does against Bama on Saturday at Bama. Ole Miss will be rooting like crazy for the Auburn Tigers and Hugh Freeze. Do we have the legend call? Is this from this one this past weekend? All right, legend called Feinbaum and melted down.
Man, I've never been so embarrassed in all my life. 3 friggin' losses. Are you friggin' kidding me? Are you
Good.
freaking kidding me? This is disgusting, man. What I seen Saturday night, that was pathetic. It was disgusting, man. Paul, going from Coach Saban to Coach DeBoer, it's like going to bed married to Beyonce and waking up with Whoopi Goldberg laying next to you, brother. How do we accept it? Is this acceptable, Alabama fans? Is this Alabama football? Is this what we signed up for? Is this what Bear Brown built? Is this what Nick Saban built? Man, I'm disgusted. You ought to be disgusted, too. I heard Coach DeBoer in his press conference after the game talking about we need to learn how to do better. Nah, dude, all that crap's over with. You ain't going to the playoffs, and every real Alabama fan don't give a damn now because there's nothing at stake. I don't even give a damn about the Iron Bowl. I don't even care who I piss off. I don't care which one of you little Alabama fans get your feelings hurt because legend keeps it 100, but damn the Iron Bowl. We about national championships at Alabama. I give a damn about beating some weak-ass Auburn team. It's about playoffs and championships. It's just pathetic. And this is what hurts my heart, Paul. Can I tell you what hurts my heart?
What's that?
What hurts my heart is it's clear this guy is overwhelmed. And you done took the greatest program in the world, and you can't handle this job. Come on, somebody testify with me. Somebody get up and say amen and hallelujah. All you got to do is look at this guy. He is overwhelmed. He is out of his league. He had no idea what he was stepping into. As far as me and the Sidewalk alumni, I want to tell you this, Coach DeBoer. I had an aunt. She got married about 8 times. He had 8 different husbands. And I always wonder, every other year I see my aunt with a new man. And my mama asked my aunt one day, Aunt Marie, let me ask you a question. Why you got all these men? Why you changing one man to the next? And I'll never forget what my aunt said. She said, you can't fix stupid, but you can divorce it. And on behalf of me and 70% of the Alabama fan base, we want a damn divorce. This is unacceptable at the University of Alabama. Either accept it and be a real damn fan and realize where we got to where we at, or sit your ass down and shut up. This is unacceptable. It was a pathetic performance as I've ever seen. I've never been more embarrassed by it. Never been more embarrassed by what I've seen. It means more to me. It means something to me, baby. Maybe it don't mean a damn thing to you, but it means something to me, baby. It means something to me. Somebody get me a damn basketball ticket. I'm out the damn door. Elvis has left the damn effing building.
All right. That was Legend on Feinbaum. I wonder if he'll be at the Iron Bowl. Probably not. You think he's got season tickets? Probably not.
Doubtful.
Would you label him a Walmart fan?
Well, he called himself a walk-on. I don't know what other way to go than that.
Did he really?
Yeah, I mean, because he referenced DeBoer referencing walk-on fans.
Oh, gosh.
Uh-huh.
You got to be careful there.
I mean, what, you think the guy got a degree there or something? Yeah, right.
Oh, man.
He doesn't look like a degree guy.
Shots fired.
Deodorant or college.
Do you think he wears deodorant?
I'll give it this. He looks like he might be, he's doing some kind of, he's got a construction vest on type guy. I'm assuming he does.
Okay.
Because if not, the other construction guys would wear him out.
Good point.
They don't allow that up there.
Good point.
Nah.
Yeah. Show is brought to you by the Gyros at Aplos in the Renaissance and Aplos in Highland Village. They also have Stella Artois, which is wonderful beer. Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, fun, festive, food. Well, food, football, and fun. How about that?
There we go. 3 Fs.
3 Fs.
3 Fs of Thanksgiving. How about it?
Are you going to cook anything?
Nah.
Nah.
Lord, no. Absolutely not.
But you said you could bake.
I can bake. I can bake well. I can do your...
Tell me something.
Oh, any kind of cookie, cake, any kind of stuff like that. I get a little intricate sometimes and do like a little, it's like a mix between a Rice Krispie, but it's a Fruity Pebble Rice Krispie cake / muffin almost. It's pretty cool. It's pretty wild.
You do a Fruity Pebble
like
cake muffin?
Yeah, it's something of the nature. It's weird. It's we do a lot of baking.
Fruity Pebbles.
I can bake. I'm baking in anything but following some instructions. Until you get to until you're doing like real stuff, it ain't nothing but following instructions.
Okay. You do more sweets?
Yeah.
Do you do any casseroles?
What?
I've never made a casserole.
I don't even know. I don't even know where to start. I know I'm sorry. You get one of those big casserole dishes. That's all. That's all I know.
I know where that is in the house. I don't know maybe exactly, but I could find it in one of the.
I could identify it
in one of the whatever you call it. It's not a drawer.
Shelves, drawers, cabinets.
Yeah. But I've never made a casserole.
I mean,
I think I may make it all the way, whether that's today or 20 years. I'm now I like a good hash brown casserole. I like it brown on top, a little crispy, right? Cut a piece off. You don't like hash brown casserole?
That's fine, but the majority of them look gross.
Really?
And I don't even like the way these things look, to be honest.
Oh,
it's just
man.
not my deal. Now
then
that casserole is good. Yeah.
Who?
The one you're mentioning right now. That is a good casserole. I like green bean casserole too. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's not covered in whatever it's called, cream of milk or mushrooms or whatever. Good hell. But I love green beans. I want them pretty dry. You know what I mean? And wrapped in bacon. And then throw some Jonesy Q on there or some red pepper or some hot sauce, and I'm ready to roll. All right. Happy Thanksgiving, man. I hope you eat a bunch of dressing.
Same to you.
We're going to be gone for a little while.
Yeah, how about
it's
that?
It's first time since August 1. All right. So happy Thanksgiving to you. We love you. Thanks for listening to the show. Wish you and your family an awesome week. Enjoy the football. And we'll see you Monday right here on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone.